Let's do some examples where we use the formula. So just as a reminder, the formula is slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for example, let's say we have a point, and I'm going to call the point A. And that doesn't matter, but it's sometimes useful to name points. So I'm going to say that we have a point A that's 4 and 7, and we have a point B that's 13 and 12. I want to know what is the slope between those points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call these points. So I might, for example, say that this is the first point and that this is the second point. And as I may show, that's not really important, which one's first and which one's second. But let's say we've done that. We said this is A is the first point and B is the second point. And what we're going to do is we're going to label these numbers now. So we know that we have x and y. So a point is the x value then the y value. And we know that this is going to be, this is the x value of the first point, so we're going to call this x1. This is the y value of the first point, so we're going to call it y1. Similarly, we're going to call this x2, and we're going to call this y2. So now we have we're going to use the formula, and we're going to plug things in. So what we have is, what color should we use for that? We'll use an orange. y2, so y2 is 12. And then we put the minus in. We're always going to put the minus in. y1 is 7 all over. x2 is 13. And x1, oh, and we need a minus. And x1 is 4. Then we put that all together. So 12 minus 7 is 5. 13 minus 4 is 9. And the slope between those 2 points is 5 over 9. That's it. Example 2. So what we have is, again, we're going to label our points. x1, y1, x2, y2. And then we know slope. Now sometimes what we do for slope, there's a letter we often use for slope, for no good reason. But the letter we use often for slope is M. I think I had a math teacher once who told me that M stood for monter en français, which meant to climb, but I don't think that's accurate. But either way, so sometimes we're going to start using M for slope. So slope, as we remember, the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we plug in our points. y2 is 24. Subtract. y1 is 11. x2 is 5. Subtract. 2. And we get that the slope is equal to 24 minus 11 is 13. 5 minus 2 is 3. And that's a slope. This is an improper fraction, but you could just keep it like that. There's no reason to change it. Just leave it the way it is. So this one over here, I'm going to start going a little bit faster. x1, y1, x2, y2. Our formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. M stands for slope again. And that's going to give us 7 minus 1 over x2 is 13. Oh, we're doing the minuses in a different color. It should have been in the purple. Now it looks like equals. Minus x1 is 5. 7 minus 1 is 6. 13 minus 5 is 8. So we have the slope equals 6 over 8. This one's slightly different. We're not quite done yet because, in general, if you can reduce the fraction, then you must reduce the fraction. So the slope is 6 over 8. We reduce it, and it becomes, divide the top and the bottom by 2, and then we get the slope is 3 over 4. And if you can reduce it, you must reduce it.